Hi everybody, this is Asma from Walk Like an Egyptian. It's been a while. We are pausing our tours and God knows until when we will pause the tours. We hope that you are all safe. Please stay at home as much as you can. Only go out when it's necessary. It's safe in general, but as a precaution measure, I think we should be all staying at home just to reduce the spread of the virus. Meanwhile, while we are pausing our tours, who said we cannot talk about history? This is why we decided to do some online videos to share with you some of the fun and very interesting history we like to always share with you. So when I was thinking like which topic shall we talk about, many have been asked about like modern history, Islamic history, Pharaonic history. Then okay, I said I'll go through the books I have and let's see which topic will pop up. So while I was going through the books I have, I just found a book I bought many years ago for one of my favorite persons in modern history, in the 70s or 80s. This person, unfortunately, today is almost unknown even for Egyptians, but he is a very famous person. Today, when you go to the Library of Alexandria, I mean the modern library, which is a must-see when you go to Alexandria, it's a stunning place. You admire the architecture, the books, they have an archaeology museum at the library. But few knows that they have a permanent expedition for a cinematograph Egyptian. He's a filmmaker in all means. So he's a director. He is a movie script. He also designed costumes for the movies. But he doesn't do it as a commercial, or he didn't do it as a commercial because he passed away a long time ago in the 80s, in the 1980s. This guy name is Shadi Abdel Salam. Please memorize that name, because he dedicated his life for a passion, for something that left a remark for all the people who saw his artwork. So who's Shadi Abdel Salam? And can you imagine that in the Library of Alexandria, can you imagine this is like a very important big project that we have in Egypt. They decided in the few expeditions that they have to make one for Shadi Abdel Salam. This is something that shows you how important this guy was, how incredible work he did. So Shadi Abdel Salam, I'll give you a brief about him, then I'll show you some pictures from the book I have. And at the end, when all this stopping traveling and everybody is home period ends, please visit Alexandria, please visit the Library of Alexandria, and please visit the expedition of Shadi Abdel Salam to see his artwork with your eyes, so you can feel his soul in every piece in this permanent expedition. So let's go through the life of Shadi Abdel Salam. So Shadi Abdel Salam, he was born in Alexandria in the 1950s. But his family origin was originally from Upper Egypt. So this mix of North and South left something incredible in his character. He always returned to the root, because in Upper Egypt, in the south of Egypt, they are very attached to their tradition, to their culture. So he always admired that brown skin, the history, the culture, the Egyptian character. But still, he was born in Alexandria, so he loved the modern life of Egypt. He was always admired to art. At the beginning, he didn't study art. He studied law. But later on, he studied interior design. And this is when he started working in this. He went to a famous Egyptian director. His name is Salah Abu Saif. And he told him, I love movie making. I would like to see how you guys do this. And the first job he got was just writing down how minutes each scene took. Can you imagine? Just that's it. Then later on, he fell in love with the movie making industry. But he didn't look to it as industry, he looked to it as art. And this is when he started working in designing the costumes and the interior for the movies. He did many costumes for very, very popular movies that Egyptians saw. This is why I'm surprised how Egyptians, they know these movies, but they don't know Shadi Abdel Salam. Just to say some names, movie names, وإسلامة, عنتر وعبلة, and Shadi Abdel and many others. The costumes that we love in these movies have been done by Shadi Abdel Salam. Not only that, there's a scene or a part of the movie Cleopatra, the famous Cleopatra by Elizabeth Taylor, have been done by Shadi Abdel Salam. So he was also an international movie maker. But the most important legacy for Shadi Abdel Salam is momia, the mummy. I'm not meaning the American new movie, The Mummy. I mean the Egyptian movie, The Mummy. This one is a very artistic movie. Please, I will share with you the link later and see it during your free time, and we have plenty of them in the coming period. And The Mummy is really a beautiful movie. It tells a story, very important story about our Egyptian history. The momia, the first scene in the movie, it starts with verses from the Egyptian Book of the Dead. يوم تحصى السنين, the day the years are counted. And he narrates chapter from the Book of the Dead. Then you see a funeral scene, and you see people in Upper Egypt, in Luxor. So what is the story of the mummy or mumia, and why it's so important? It tells the story of a cachette that was discovered in Luxor back in 1881, where they found royal mummies. But these royal mummies, they were not discovered one night. They have been discovered already by a family in Luxor. And these guys, the Rasul family, they were like sneaking some pieces from this treasury, and they would sell it in the market. And they found pieces of like necklace, scarab, key of life, gold stuff in the market. And they start tracking it, and they found that this family, they found something important. So the story of the movie is about two brothers from this family. When they found out about what their family business is, one wanted to continue in selling the antiquities, while the other, his conscience is telling him, no, this is our Egyptian history and we should not sell it. The story of the movie is very interesting, but also every mise-en-scène in this movie is simply stunning. You should see it. El Mumia is a very beautiful movie. You should see the movie, and you are going to love every second watching it. You will discover more about the cachette of Deir al-Bahari, and I will try to make sure that I tell you the story later on in details, how they discover it and how the story goes exactly. But every mise-en-scène in this movie is simply incredible. It shows, not only tells, it shows the love that Shadi Abdel Salam had for ancient Egypt. And I would like to end this video with a very beautiful quote that you will see when you go to his, I would say museum, because it's like a museum, the permanent exhibition that they have at the Library of Alexandria. Please go have a look. I'll show you the pictures, but the pictures have nothing to do with reality when you are standing in front of the paintings that have been done by Shadi Abdel Salam. The most incredible thing when you go to expedition, this art expedition for Shadi Abdel Salam in the Library of Alexandria, that you are going to find that he died while he was preparing for a very important movie called The Tragedy of the Big House. And this movie was going to narrate the life of Akhenaten. Really, every scene was made with love. He didn't only made a sketch, it was like a whole painting. He showed all details. He even asked the jewelry makers in the market of Khan Khalili to make like real looking pieces that look like ancient Egypt. So Shadi Abdel Salam true legacy is left with the movie El Momia, that you should see it. I will share the link, as I said, and also with the tragedy of the big house. Unfortunately, he didn't see the light, or the movie didn't see the light. Shadi Abdel Salam didn't see the day where he's going to watch this movie, but it's almost done. The script is done, all the mise en scène is prepared, and hopefully, years after Shadi Abdel Salam passed away, now more than 30 years, I hope a movie maker take all this work, do the movie, and give credit to Shadi Abdel Salam. I'm sure it's a movie that we are going all to appreciate.